The Los Angeles Lakers have landed Myles Turner, and everything about this roster just snapped into focus. Leave your like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates, because this is the kind of addition that changes what the Lakers can be. In April and May, Turner gives the team two things it's been chasing at the same time: real rim protection and real spacing. He blocks shots without fouling, keeps drivers honest, and then turns around and drags opposing centers out of the paint with pick-and-pop range. That means clearer lanes for drives, cleaner passing windows for cutters, and far fewer bailout. Possessions where the offense has to survive a crowded paint. From the very first possession, you'll feel the difference. Luka Doncic comes off a high screen. The weak side help can't fully commit because Turner is waiting above the break, and LeBron James reads the second defender like a book. If the defense stays home, it's a downhill layup or a lob. If they rotate late, Turner's feet are set, and the jumper is in rhythm. On the other end, the calculus flips. Drivers think twice. Floaters turn into kickouts, and late clock heaves replace easy finishes. Training camp storylines now have purpose double drag actions with Turner as the pop, short roll reads when teams switch, and a closing lineup that finally protects the rim without surrendering spacing. Here's the immediate on-court ripple. You'll notice before the first media timeout, the paint looks calmer. The Lakers have spent too many trips trying to finish through a forest of bodies. Turner turns those collisions into choices for the defense. If the opposing five refuses to lead the lane, he pays with pick-and-pop threes and slips to the nail that punish late closeouts. If that five steps out, the lane opens for LeBron to knife in, for Doncic to snake into his floater, and for cutters to crash the baseline. Spacing is not just about dots on a chalkboard. It's about timing. Turner's gravity buys a beat for every read, and that beat is the difference between a rush pass and a pocket dime. Defensively, the value is just as clean. The Lakers can finally play drop coverage without feeling like they're conceding the middle of the floor. Turner's length erases angles, and his discipline means fewer bailout fouls that gift opponents free points. Guards can chase over the top, funneling drivers into a contest instead of a layup line. When teams try to drag him to the perimeter, he's comfortable enough to show and recover, to switch late, or to meet the ball a step higher and still protect the rim on the second jump. That flexibility lets the coaching staff vary the looks by opponent. Deeper drop against non-shooters, at the level presence versus elite pull-up threats, and switch to zone counters when a star gets hot. Let's talk lineups, because this is where the imagination really kicks in. The base look is simple and deadly. Doncic at the controls, Austin Reeves working as a connector, LeBron toggling between facilitator and finisher, a big wing who guards up, and Turner at the 5. From that frame, you can tilt the floor in any direction. Want a bruising group to control the glass and slow a game down? Pair Turner with a second big who screens and crashes, slide LeBron to the wing, and force opponents to win jump shots over. Length. Need to run. Put Turner with 4 shooters and play 5 out, lifting the opposing rim protector above the charge circle. Want the closing 5 to be switchy? Slot Rui Hachimura at the 4. Keep Reeves on the floor for creation. And trust Turner to clean whatever leaks through dot end-of-game scenarios. Finally have clean answers. Under 2 minutes with a 1-possession lead, the Lakers can defend without sending 2 to the ball. That keeps the rotation shorter and protects the corners, which is where late threes so often swing outcomes. Offensively, the last shot no longer relies on bully ball through traffic. It can be a simple pick and pop that forces a switch and then attacks the weakest defender, or a short roll to Turner at the dotted circle where he can hit the cutter or take the push shot. When the game slows and possessions feel like gold, simplicity wins. There's also a health and workload story built into this move. Adding a legitimate backline anchor lowers the nightly toll on LeBron. You won't need to spend as many defensive possessions as the emergency rim protector, and that conserves legs for fourth quarters. Doncic's usage can bend toward quality over quantity because more possessions flow on time. with the first advantage created by design instead of improvisation. Even the role players benefit. When your jobs are stable lift, space, cut, swing, the game rewards you with rhythm touches and clean reads. For fans who love the little things, watch the screening angles. Turner flips screens mid-possession to force defenders to change sides, then immediately respaces to the top of the key to keep the floor stretched. That one movement has a cascade effect. It pulls a rim helper one step too far. It shortens the closeout for a corner shooter, and it opens a back cut for a wing who knows the read. On defensive glass, he boxes out with his hips, not just his arms, carving space so guards can clean up rebounds and run. These are boring details that win in April. Matchups in the West look different through this lens. Against a team that plays two bigs, Turner neutralized the interior without clogging the offense. Against switch-heavy groups, his screening and pop and punish small ball with simple, repeatable advantages. Against elite mid-range shot makers, he keeps contests honest without surrendering the paint. The point here isn't that Turner solves every problem. It's that he narrows the menu of things that can beat you, which is exactly what postseason basketball demands. Let's get practical about offensive structure. Expect more 5-out looks after makes, with Turner trailing into early drag screens and pop into above-the-break threes. Expect Spain pick and rolls where he screens for the screener, and then seconds later is the safety valve at the top. Expect ghost screens that force miscommunication, because the threat of his pop is enough to freeze a defender for a heartbeat. Expect elbow actions where he hands off to a guard and immediately seals a smaller defender for a deep catch. The beauty of all these is the same. The ball moves from option 1 to option 2 without stress dot. His presence also clarifies roles for the other bigs. A rim-running 5 now has a clean timeshare. Feast when teams switch and play at the dunker. Spot when Turner spaces, or pair in short bursts to bludgeon the glass against second units. Young wings who struggle to finish in traffic will find that the lane is simply less crowded. One extra step of runway turns a contested floater into a clean 2. Guards who live on pull-ups will see more drop coverage because defenses won't. Risk leaving Turner for a hard show. A word on turnovers and pace. The Lakers have been at their best when the ball moves from advantage to advantage without sticky possessions. A pick and pop big greases that machine. When the first action doesn't produce a layup, it produces a swing, and the defense has to keep rotating because Turner's man is stretched. That produces drive and kick sequences where the decision is simple. Shoot if you're open, pass if the tag comes, and reset if the clock is friendly. The team stops hunting miracles and starts banking solid possessions. Now the defensive chessboard. With Turner on the floor, the Lakers can stash LeBron on lower usage forwards more often and preserve his legs for the fourth quarter burst. Reeves can be more aggressive at the point of attack because the backline is organized. Wing-sized defenders can pressure passing lanes, knowing that the rim is protected behind them. And when the opponent forces a switch, Turner is capable of sitting in a stance, contesting with length, and bouncing back to the paint. That denies the easy pass back and kills rhythm. Closing time combinations just got cleaner. Imagine a final 5 of Doncic, Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and Turner. There's ball handling, shooting, cutting, secondary playmaking, and a shot blocker who also stretches the floor. If the opponent stays big, you space them. If they go small, you punish mismatches with simple high-low entries and post seals that do not bend the spacing. Coaching suddenly becomes about choosing the right option, not searching for a workable one. Rotations across an 82-game grind matter as much as the opening night fireworks. Turner's minutes can be staggered so that one of Doncic or LeBron always has a partner in pick and pop. Second units can steal time by simplifying the game. Empty corner actions with Turner as the trigger. Two-man game with an aggressive guard. And a standing order to run after misses because the board is secure. That kind of clarity keeps role players sharp and keeps stars fresh. There's also the free throw ripple, a hidden but real gain. rim protection without fouling cuts opponent free throws. Spacing that reduces late clock bailouts can cut the Lakers' own turnovers, which limits transition chances going the other way. The math of those margins is simple. 2 or 3 extra points a night live here, and seeding swings on them. If you're wondering about fit with LeBron specifically, remember how he has always thrived with shooting bigs who defend. From classic pick-and-pop partners to modern 5-out spacing, his decision tree gets shorter when the lane is clean and the kick-out is trustworthy. Turner gives him that trust with better defense than most stretch fives can offer. For Doncic, it's an echo of what unlocked his best stretches elsewhere. A partner who lifts defenders out of the paint and screens with purpose so he can manipulate the second level. Film fans will enjoy the small adjustments. Watch how Turner changes the geometry of hammer actions, standing just high enough above the break to make the weak side tag choose between him and the corner shooter. Watch how he slips out of screens against switches, catching at the free throw line for quick push shots that avoid help. Watch how he baits guards in the floaters he can block from behind without fouling. These are quiet plays that flip quarters. All this sets up a more stable identity. The Lakers stop yo-yoing between styles and settle into something sustainable. Defend the rim, protect the corners, run selectively, and punish indecision with spacing. When pressure rises in the fourth, that identity doesn't change. It hardens. That's how veteran teams win without having to be perfect. Let's not ignore the human side. Turner arrives with a reputation as a worker and a communicator. Bigs have to talk. They see the floor. When the back line is vocal, perimeter defenders play faster because the instructions arrive on time. Bench bigs follow that lead. Young players learn to trust that the right rotation will be covered. That trust saves energy that would otherwise be spent on panic sprints and recovery fouls. Schedule pockets matter too. On back-to-backs and tough travel stretches, a roster with a floor spacing 5 who owns the paint can simplify the plan. Run your half-court menu, lean on defense, and accept an ugly win when the legs are heavy. In the playoffs, the same structure scales because it's built on reads, not gimmicks. Counter-arguments deserve oxygen. What if teams attack Turner in space? The answer is to choose the coverage with intent meet at the level against hot pull-up shooters, switch late with scram help behind the play, or flood the nail with length and make non-shooters prove it. What if he has an off shooting week? The spacing is still there because defenders respect a career's worth of tape, and the defense remains intact. What if foul trouble hits? The roster now has clear contingency plans because roles are defined. The most important impact might be psychological. When a team believes the rim is safe and the floor will be spaced, possessions feel lighter. Stars don't press. Role players don't force. Coaches don't chase coin flip schemes. The game returns to simple. Make the next right read. That simplicity is a competitive advantage in a league that can get lost in its own complexity. Projecting forward, seeding targets become realistic. Home court in the round changes because a handful of close games no longer slip away on bailout layups or last-second heaves over a cramped paint. The Lakers can chase those margins without asking anyone to play out of character. They just need to be themselves, with fewer weaknesses to hide. For the training camp notebook, expect a focus on two-man chemistry reps. Doncic and Turner will drill the screen angles, the pop distances, and the early pocket passes. LeBron will rehearse the read of the weak side low man, deciding in half a second whether to hit the slot cutter, throw the skip, or feed Turner on a short roll. Reeves will work on the touch pass that turns an advantage into an open corner 3. Small, repeatable reps that produce big, repeatable results. The final test is always the fourth quarter of a tight game. With Turner on the floor, the Lakers can defend without panicking, rebound without overhelping, and score without forcing. That means fewer wild possessions and more shots that the offense actually practices. It also means the opponent must pick a poison, stay home on shooters and give LeBron and Donna driving lanes, or help inside and live with a stretch fives rhythm threes. Either way, the math tilts purple and gold. Zooming out, this is not a flashy move for the sake of a headline. It is a structural one. The team raises its floor and its ceiling at once. The nightly style doesn't have to change when the opponent changes. That's how you stack months, not just nights. It's how you keep legs under you when series go long. It's how you turn potential into a plan dot. And now, because you deserve clarity at the end of every deep dive, as of this moment, there is no official team announcement, no photo in uniform, and no press release. This channel's final minute is reserved for our rumors and speculation window, where we read the smoke, match it to the on-court fit, and tell you exactly how it would look the second the ink dries. This is that segment. My personal take, after watching the film and imagining the rotations, is simple. I love how this version of the Lakers would play with Turner clean lanes, calmer fourth quarters, and a plan that travels in May. If you see it differently, drop your view below and tell me which action you want diagram first moment. The deal goes from whispers to reality.